Echoes of Infamy, a journey through history's most startling transgressions. Welcome to our countdown of the top 5 crimes in history. These are the events that shocked the world and left a lasting impact on society. Here in the vast tapestry of human existence, alongside moments of breathtaking creation and profound compassion, there exist threads of darkness, instances where the delicate balance of order is spectacularly and often tragically disrupted. These are not mere footnotes in our shared story, but seismic shifts, events that have carved deep fissures into the collective consciousness, compelling us to confront the more shadowed aspects of our own nature and the vulnerabilities inherent within our carefully constructed civilizations. Today we embark on an exploration, a careful examination of 5 such occurrences. Each, in its own unique and often chilling way, sent ripples across the globe, altering perceptions, challenging institutions, and leaving behind legacies that continue to be debated, dissected, and indeed felt to this very day. We shall delve into the intricate details, the audacious planning, the devastating consequences, and the lingering questions that surround these monumental breaches of trust and law. It is a journey into the heart of human fallibility, but also, perhaps, into our enduring quest for justice and understanding. Join me as we navigate through these complex narratives, seeking not to sensationalize but to comprehend the profound and often far-reaching impact these crimes have had. From daring heists that captured the public imagination to acts of violence that reshaped the geopolitical landscape and financial deceptions that eroded faith in established systems, we will uncover the stories behind the headlines. Prepare yourselves as we delve into the annals of true crime, exploring events that, for better or worse, have become indelible markers in the long and often turbulent chronicle of humankind. The audacious gambit, Britain's great train robbery. Our journey begins in the heart of the English countryside on a cool August night in 1963. Here, amidst the seemingly tranquil landscape, an act of extraordinary audacity was about to unfold. One that would become legendary in the annals of criminal enterprise, the Great Train Robbery. This was not a crime of passion, nor a desperate act of a lone individual, but a meticulously planned operation executed with almost military precision by a gang of some 15 individuals. Their target, a Royal Mail train, specifically the high-value package carriage en route from Glasgow to London, laden with millions of pounds in used banknotes. The sheer scale of their ambition was, in itself, quite remarkable. The gang, led by figures who would later become household names, such as Bruce Reynolds, employed a cunning strategy. They tampered with the railway signals, bringing the unsuspecting train to a halt in a remote location known as Sears Crossing in Buckinghamshire. The train crew, initially believing it to be a routine signal fault, were soon confronted by the masked figures. The efficiency with which the robbers then uncoupled the targeted carriage and subdued the staff spoke volumes of their preparation. It was a high-stakes gamble, relying on precise timing, inside knowledge, and an unwavering nerve. For a brief yet intense period, they held complete control, a small, determined group against the might of the state's postal service. The haul was staggering, £2.6 million, the equivalent of well over £50 million in today's currency. The sheer volume of cash was so immense that they struggled to move it all. The crime sent shockwaves through Britain, a nation still emerging from post-war austerity. It was a direct challenge to authority, an almost romanticized act of defiance in the eyes of some, though undeniably a serious criminal undertaking. The subsequent manhunt became one of the largest in British history, a testament to the gravity with which the establishment viewed this brazen act. The Great Train Robbery was more than just a theft. It was a cultural moment, a story of daring and consequence that continues to fascinate. The spark in Sarajevo, a single shot that ignited a world. We now turn our gaze to a moment in history where a single violent act had repercussions so vast, so devastating, that they reshaped the very map of the world and altered the course of the 20th century. The date is June 28, 1914, in the city of Sarajevo, then part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. The crime, the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir presumptive to the Austro-Hungarian throne, and his wife Sophie, Duchess of Hohenberg. This was not a crime driven by greed, but by fervent nationalism and a complex web of political ideologies that had been simmering across Europe for decades. The Archduke's visit to Sarajevo was fraught with tension. Serbian nationalism was a potent force in the Balkans, with many seeking independence from Austro-Hungarian rule. A secret military society known as the Black Hand orchestrated the assassination plot, providing training and weapons to a group of young Bosnian Serb conspirators. The initial attempt on the Archduke's life that fateful morning, a bomb thrown at his motorcade, failed, injuring bystanders but leaving Franz Ferdinand and Sophie unharmed. It seemed for a moment that disaster had been averted, a fleeting chance for history to take a different path. However, a series of fateful decisions and unfortunate coincidences led the Archduke's car to take a wrong turn later that day, directly into the path of one of the conspirators, Gavrilo Princip. Seizing his unexpected opportunity, Princip fired 2 shots at point-blank range, fatally wounding both the Archduke and his wife. The news of their death spread like wildfire, igniting a diplomatic crisis of unprecedented scale. Austria-Hungary, backed by Germany, issued an ultimatum to Serbia which, when not fully met, led to a declaration of war. The intricate system of alliances across Europe then inexorably drew nation after nation into the conflict, culminating in the cataclysm that was the First World War, a conflict that would claim millions of lives and irrevocably change the global order. Chapter 3. The Empty Frames, a masterpiece of artistic plunder. Our next examination takes us into the refined world of art, a realm where beauty and cultural heritage reside, but one that is not immune to the audacious reach of criminality. We journey to Boston, Massachusetts, to the night of March 18, 1990, and the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. What transpired here remains one of the most significant and perplexing art heists in modern history, a crime that saw the disappearance of irreplaceable masterpieces, leaving behind a void that is felt to this day. The estimated value of the stolen works, a staggering $500 million, making it the largest private property theft ever recorded. The perpetrators, disguised as police officers, gained entry to the museum in the early hours of the morning, deceiving the 2 young security guards on duty. Once inside, they quickly subdued the guards, binding them and leaving them in the museum's basement. For a period of 81 minutes, the thieves had free rein of the museum, a treasure trove collected by Isabella Stewart Gardner herself. Their choices, however, were somewhat enigmatic. They didn't necessarily take the most valuable pieces in terms of pure monetary worth, but instead selected a curious assortment, including Vermeer's The Concert, one of only around 34 known works by the Dutch master, and Rembrandt's only known seascape, The Storm on the Sea of Galilee. The sheer daring of the act and the cultural significance of the stolen items caused an international uproar. The empty frames, which still hang in the museum today as a poignant reminder of the loss and a symbol of hope for their return, speak volumes. Despite decades of investigation by the FBI and private entities and a multi-million-dollar reward, none of the 13 stolen artworks have ever been recovered. The mystery surrounding the Gardner heist endures. Who were the thieves? What was their motive? And most importantly, where are these priceless treasures now? It is a stark reminder of the vulnerability of our cultural heritage to those who seek to exploit it for their own ends. Chapter 4. The Phantom of the North California's Unsolved Cipher. We now venture into a darker, more disturbing chapter of criminal history, one that remains shrouded in mystery and fear. Our focus shifts to Northern California during the late 1960s and early 1970s, a period terrorized by an individual who came to be known only as the Zodiac Killer. This was not a crime of material gain, nor one with clear political motivations, but a series of brutal, seemingly random attacks that instilled a profound sense of dread across communities. The Zodiac claimed to have killed at least 5 people, though he boasted of many more, and his identity remains one of America's most enduring unsolved criminal puzzles. What set the Zodiac apart beyond the chilling nature of his crimes was his brazen communication with the press and police. He sent a series of taunting letters and cryptograms, complex ciphers that he dared authorities and the public to decode. Some of these ciphers were indeed cracked, revealing rambling, egotistical messages, but others remain unsolved to this day, holding perhaps clues to his identity or motives. He appeared to revel in the media attention, creating a persona, a phantom who played a deadly game with society, deriving a twisted satisfaction from the fear he generated. The Zodiac's reign of terror targeted young couples in secluded areas and a lone taxi driver in San Francisco, his methods varying, adding to the unpredictability and the widespread panic. The police faced an immense challenge, a killer who left few concrete clues, who seemed to strike at will, and who actively manipulated the narrative through his cryptic communications. Despite numerous suspects being investigated over the decades, no definitive arrest was ever made. The Zodiac Killer vanished as enigmatically as he had appeared, leaving behind a legacy of fear, unsolved murders, and a chilling reminder of the capacity for calculated cruelty that can exist hidden within society. Chapter 5. The Illusionist of Wall Street, Madoff's Monumental Deception. Our final case takes us into the seemingly sophisticated yet often perilous world of high finance. Here, the weapon is not a gun or a bomb, but trust, and the crime scene is not a dark alley, but the balance sheets of a seemingly reputable investment firm. We speak, of course, of Bernie Madoff and what is widely considered the largest Ponzi scheme in history. A financial fraud of such epic proportions that its collapse in 2008 sent tremors through the global financial system and wiped out the life savings of thousands. Madoff, a former chairman of the Nasdaq Stock Exchange, cultivated an image of unparalleled financial wizardry. For decades, his investment securities firm delivered consistently high returns, attracting a glittering clientele of wealthy individuals, charities, and institutions, all eager to entrust their fortunes to his supposedly Midas touch. The reality, however, was a colossal deception. There were no brilliant investments, no secret trading strategies. Instead, Madoff was simply using the money from new investors to pay off earlier ones, the classic hallmark of a Ponzi scheme, albeit one operated on an unprecedented scale and with remarkable longevity. The scheme unraveled dramatically in December 2008 amidst the global financial crisis, when redemption requests outstripped the inflow of new capital. Madoff confessed to his sons, who then alerted the authorities. The scale of the fraud was breathtaking, with estimated losses amounting to tens of billions of dollars. Lives were shattered, esteemed charitable foundations were decimated, and faith in financial oversight was deeply shaken. Madoff's crime was not one of physical violence, but its impact was devastatingly personal for his countless victims, a stark illustration of how financial crimes can inflict profound and lasting wounds on individuals and society as a whole. Outro: Reflections in the Shadow, the Enduring Impact of Transgression. As our exploration of these 5 extraordinary crimes draws to a close, we are left to ponder the profound disturbances they represent within the human narrative. From the audacious theft of the great train robbery, capturing a strange mix of condemnation and folk hero fascination, to the single act of violence in Sarajevo that plunged continents into war, each event serves as a stark reminder of our vulnerabilities, be they to cunning, to ideology, or to calculated deception. The empty frames in the Gardner Museum silently scream of cultural loss, while the unsolved mystery of the Zodiac Killer continues to echo with an unsettling disquiet. The meticulously crafted financial illusion of Bernie Madoff, too, reveals a different kind of societal fragility, one rooted in trust and the complex systems we build. These crimes not only shocked the world but also changed the course of history, or at the very least significantly altered the lives of countless individuals and the communities they belong to. They compel us to look closer at the mechanisms of justice, the nature of security, and indeed the very fabric of our societies, prompting reforms, inspiring art, and fueling an enduring human fascination with the darker aspects of our potential. The echoes of these events still resonate, shaping our laws, our security measures, and our collective memory. They serve as cautionary tales etched into the annals of our past, reminding us of the constant vigilance required to maintain order and to strive for a more just world. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more intriguing content as we continue to explore the multifaceted story of our planet and its inhabitants.